Hey everyone, welcome back. It's time for the latest GoSkills Challenge solution. How did you do? Well, we're about to find out. Our Excel expert Claudia Buckley has her solution to share. Give it a look and see if yours matches up.
All right, so how do I solve this challenge? Remember, I want to get a list of the countries that only hosted the Olympic Games once. For that, pretty easy. I need the unique function, and this is the array that I want. I want it all the way to the end. And there's only one column involved, but I want things that only appear just the one time. So I need true for my exactly once argument. And here they are. So we have 10 countries that only hosted an Olympic game one time. We want to know what city they were held in. We want to know the year and whether these were summer games or winter games. There are a couple of approaches to this. Here's my approach. I want to start by using XLOOKUP. Let me look up the value here, and I want to use that spill range operator that says, all right, just grab everything that comes from that unique list, and my lookup array, it's going to be here. And what do we want to return? We want to return everything here. All right, so let's bring that all the way down to number 55 and close. So Excel doesn't like that. It only returns the names of the city. So it does correspond to the right city. So we know we're doing something right, but it's only returning the city column. And the reason for that is that XLOOKUP doesn't like when its result has two spilled arrays. So because this is a spilled array, so column G is a spill, but our return array is also a spill because we're asking it to return multiple columns. It doesn't like that, so what it does, it only returns the first spill, which is unfortunate. So if I remove that spill range operator, it does spill all the columns that we requested, but now it's only looking for Belgium. So I had to copy all the way to row 11 for that. All right, so that's one way of doing it. And I really don't need to see these last two columns. So it's returning here, but what I really wanted was the word summer or winter in one column. I don't need to see whether it was the first, second, or third Olympiad. I really don't care about that. So we could have filtered out those last two columns. One way to do that is by saying, okay, let's filter the results here and only include these first three columns. We use 1 for yes and 0 for no. So yes, 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 we want the first three, and no, no. Curly brackets, close parentheses, and there we go. All right, and we copy that all the way to here. Another way to work this, if you wanted a solution that's a little more elegant, and you do have Excel 365, is instead of using the filter function, you can use the take function. And you'd start exactly the same way. Start with your XLOOKUP, and you're going to look up the value that's in G2, searching for it here. And in exactly the same way, you want to return multiple columns, but you can select which columns you want. In this case, you start with the take function, and we will want all the rows, so we can skip that argument and move on to the columns argument. We want the first three. So we just need the number 3 here, close parenthesis, and copy our formula down. So this returns the first 3 columns starting from the left, and it's a little more elegant and it's easier to understand. So now we have that, but we still want to know whether these were summer or winter games. My solution is to do a combination of functions here. And we can do this logically. If we think about it, if column D has text, then it's summer. If it doesn't have text, then it was a winter game because the text shows up over here. So that's what we'll type in here. We want to say if If the result of this formula is text, then we do one thing. If it's not, we do something else. So here's the formula. We want to look up whether the value here, because this will always correspond to this. So I'll just use the spill array here. If when we look up G2 and below in this array and return what's here, so let's go all the way to 55 here. All right, so that's the end of the is text. If we return that and it is text, then we want to see the word summer, and if not, the word winter. And there we go. This is my method of doing this. Did you use some other way? Is this way new to you? And did you know about XLOOKUP not being able to return those two spilled arrays in one formula? Let me know in the comments. See you next time.
So there it is. Did you get the same results? Did you use the same approach? Or did you try something different? We'd like to know. Share your take on the challenge in the comments below or join us for more discussion in our Slack channel. Link in the description. Thanks for participating and make sure to subscribe to this channel to get an alert when the next challenge is released. We'll see you then.